As the molten rock and debris is blasted into the air, the entire volcanic mountain range collapses down, creating an immense cauldron-shaped basin. Water and heat are the agents of change for a world that's still a work in progress. Earth is not the only one. Welcome to Triton, Neptune's otherworldly moon. With surface temperatures at minus 235 degrees Celsius, this is no place for lava to flow. Instead, volcanoes of water ice shower the landscape. On Triton, it's the geysers that qualify as super. They can blast liquid nitrogen at almost 700 kilometers per hour to a height of 8 kilometers above the surface. Some volcanoes on Jupiter's moon Io have plumes of escaping gas that reach 500 kilometers above the surface. If on Earth, they would rise above the International Space Station. What powers Io's eruptions looms on the horizon. Jupiter exerts a massive tug on Io's core, generating heat. Much of it escapes in the largest volcano in the solar system, known as Loki. It may have formed when an impact blew a hole in Io's thin outer crust. There are traces of volcanic activity on Mars, Venus, several moons of Saturn, and Jupiter, and in the past, even our own moon. But it's Earth that may bear the deepest scars. The most destructive volcano known in our planet's history took place in what's now Siberian Russia. Wind back the clock to the time of the eruption, 250 million years ago. All of Earth's land masses were joined together in a supercontinent known as Pangaea. It was the end of a spectacular period known as the Permian. That was a time when life on Earth ran riot. Amphibians and early reptiles flourished, including the ancestors of dinosaurs and mammals. Forests and swamps saw an explosion of insect species. Fern plants, dominant for eons, were beginning to give way to conifers and palms. The oceans brimmed with life's bounty as well. Amid vibrant coral reefs, a wide variety of invertebrates and fish inhabited the open water. was Earth in all its glory. Then, in the geological blink of an eye, it was over. Up to 70% of all species on land and 90% of marine species disappeared. Ecosystems around the planet collapsed in a mysterious blight called the Great Dying. What happened? Scientists believe that a broad plume of rising magma pushed toward the surface. When volcanic formations like this spread out, their energy dissipates. But imagine if instead that their tentacles rose and exploded as one in a sprawling supervolcano. Here was hell on Earth. A series of small eruptions generated 1,000 times more lava than the Toba volcano. They choked the atmosphere with carbon dioxide and methane gas. Global temperatures soared. The oceans turned acidic, their waters depleted of oxygen. The Earth belched deadly toxins, including high levels of mercury. Through the history of our planet, eruptions on this scale are thankfully rare. Could one happen now? The answer is a secret in plain sight. Visitors to Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming may never suspect they are atop one of the world's largest active volcanoes. Its legacy is written across scenes like this, the fabled Yellowstone River. The heat below softened layers of volcanic rock. Catastrophic flood at the end of the last ice age then gouged out this spectacular canyon. All around, thermal energy is underfoot, like a pressure cooker gathering steam. It escapes in smoldering cauldrons, in spectacular geysers that can blast hundreds of feet into the air. In primeval hot springs laden with sulfur that simmer near the boiling point. We venture to Yellowstone to admire this thermal spectacle. Imagine if we could follow it down to its source. Surface water seeps into the ground, moving through cracks in the underlying rock. A kilometer below, the water enters layers of heated rocks, then shoots back to the surface. Deeper still, 10 kilometers down, are the upper reaches of an immense plume of magma. It's over 100 kilometers wide and 400 kilometers deep. Yellowstone has erupted time and again over the last 18 million years. Several have followed the same tripwire events that triggered Toba: the sudden release of large amounts of magma, the collapse of the land,
Ay,
and the rise of a supervolcano. Yellowstone is overdue. It may not erupt again for hundreds, even thousands of years. Still, scientists are watching for early signs: earthquakes, rising heat, the restless stirrings of a planet under pressure. Yellowstone's geysers, like Old Faithful, remind us that someday, once again, the planet will vent its rage. Supervolcanoes may be rare, but the fury that fuels them is ever present. If science tells us anything about them, it's that when the next one does erupt, life on this planet will be forever changed.
no regrets, right?
It was the Soviet Union versus the United States.